Welcome to another episode of Unventure podcast. I am Mr. and together with my glorious co-host Tauros, we have a pleasure to guest a fellow VN enthusiast, ASid. He's a passionate reviewer with a degenerate heart. Please, if you could introduce yourself, ASid.
Okay, hello guys. Yeah, ASid here again. Thank you guys for having me again on the podcast. So yeah, I'm ASid, 23 years old from Malaysia, and I do a bit of VN content on YouTube, bit of degeneracy, just talking about all the visual novel stuff. So yeah, it's me.
With all that behind, I have a question to you. Because I saw your channel, I watched your videos, and my question to you is, what motivates you to review VNs?
Well, I would say that my first motivation would be that because let's say that when I just typically go in Discord and then I just typically go into an anime server and then I just wanted to say, oh, does anyone here like know visual novels? And like it'll be like click. So like you're more like you don't get an answer, or maybe, and the satisfaction that you get when someone says, oh yeah, I do know, and I've read this and I've read that, then you can talk about it. It's like trying to find in the world, in the regular world, oh, do you watch anime? It's like that. So it's like when you have found someone you watch anime, and then you feel like, oh, you'll be like, oh, you want to share more with this guy, you want to talk more with him because you found someone with mutual interest. In my case, in my case, I find that visual novels is like that in the anime community. It's like a very small niche, and I just wanna grow the community, man. I mean, like I think that visual novels are like a great medium to read stories, because it's like the middle ground between a light novel and an anime, because it has like some animations to it. It's like and you can also read it like a book. So it's quite enjoyable by itself. It can be as long as it needs to be. It's not limited by how do you say it? Not limited by animation, the 24 minute per episode kind of thing. So it's not limited by that. You can just I just want more people to read visual novels. It's just a great medium. I just got introduced to it by a friend, which I hate because he did.
Oh no!
Spicy.
I believe I was 13 at the moment. He introduced me. He introduced me to my first official anime and my first official visual novel.
Whoa.
And I loved both. So my first official anime was High School DxD.
Ooh, what a way to start! Yeah.
And my first official visual novel is Grisaya no Kajitsu. So it was a very long visual novel, but I loved every single bit of it. Although I was 13, I read like just Yumiko route and Amane's route because I wasn't interested in the other routes. Because because 13, right? I wanted to search for that One-chan material.
You knew what you wanted, and that's what you came for, and then you left.
I left it. And I got what I came for. I conquered. So So and then I got introduced more to more visual novels. I started Googling what are the top visual novels, and then I got introduced to Muv-Luv.
Ooh, okay.
So Muv-Luv was the top one, and then I read it. I was like, damn, this story. Reading Muv-Luv was one of the best things that actually happened to me. because me being a mecha person, I love watching Gundam back then. So when I saw the mecha in Muv-Luv, I fell in love. Yeah, they were like so beautifully drawn, sexy.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a mecha
I wasn't big of a mecha fan, and it had an immense effect on me. And thinking about if I were a big fan of mecha, like you said say you are, holy hell, I just can't describe how Bovluf does it really well.
I'm not a mecha fan either, but I've definitely seen and met a few people who are mecha fans, and they are real passionate about the robots and admiring them and their attention to detail. So I really respect them, they have a lot to enjoy about it.
Yeah, and the fact that because Moflove is a visual novel, and I find that it really relates to the real world a lot, but just in a different setting, a different world. So I figured that, maybe I want to do my part in, growing the community, inviting more people to read visual novels. So yeah, you can say that's my
now
motivation.
I feel really bad to introduce you saying a degenerate heart where all you do is speak with such a passion, like a dedicated Opie dragon. You knew what you wanted, you searched what you wanted, you seek fellow connoisseurs, and then you spread the gospel of a good visual novel around the globe. Damn, now I feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, don't need to feel bad because I talk about hate scenes in my reviews anyway.
Fair enough.
So it's like, I don't know, but probably because the DXD mind got to me. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta talk about the ecchi stuff. I mean, like when I searched on YouTube, I said, when you want to go into YouTube, you gotta give something unique. So like, not a lot of people are talking about hate stuff. So I was like, all right, I'll be the one to do it then.
You pick up the mantle.
Yeah, so is that what inspired you to start creating YouTube videos? You mentioned you wanted to give back to the community, but like what was the starting moment for you when you decided you wanted to become a YouTube creator and to put stuff online to the world?
Okay, I think this might be a long story. It's the part where I wanted to find my passion in doing something. At first, when I was just browsing through Discord and stuff, I was just like, okay, I picked up a hobby. Warhammer 40k?
Oh boy. Yeah, a huge tabletop board game.
Yeah, a huge table. I'm a fan of it. I got introduced to it by Bricky, the one of the YouTubers that made a really explanation about the videos. I got introduced to it. I loved it. I loved the lore. So I bought tabletop a lot. I bought the models. I bought Necrons. Egyptian Terminators, and I painted them. So I figured that a friend of mine in my Discord server suggested, why don't you make YouTube videos painting them? I was like, and so I did. Then I didn't have enough time for them, so I dropped the idea of making that YouTube video. I did make some, but then I dropped them, and then I figured that maybe I wanted to do something about waifus, so I made videos on waifus. So I have basically just showing the scenes of the waifus, like best moments of them. As in DXD, I have one other account that has that has videos on the waifus. And then I figured that maybe this is not something that I really wanted to do. So then when I got back I was reading one visual novel. White Album 2 came out. So I was like, maybe I should give this a try. Then I read it and I figured that maybe I could do visual novels content in YouTube. So I tried several things, made several videos, and yeah, here I am. So that's how I got into making content visual novels. So basically speaking, this is my third account. Third YouTube account.
Your passion certainly resonated with me. How I found you out and seen how much dedication you do when creating the content, and one of the reasons I wanted to ask you to guest here, and I still am humbled that you agreed to be with us.
All good.
I have a question to follow my question about the inspiration with. You seem like a very passionate person and dedicated at that. Do you ever have a problem reviewing a game you utterly enjoyed? Because speaking from my side, I tend to do written reviews. I might in the future translate them because I started writing them when I created my community, and they are in Polish. So I'll try to someday make them available in English, but I have either a writer's block or some sort inherent problem writing stuff that is 10 out of 10 material. I just cannot. We talked in the previous episode a lot about VNture. For the love of God, I don't think I can review that game.
So you're asking about my approach to it?
Yes.
About reviewing? Well, being a reviewer, when you read stuff online, when you read reviews, when you watch videos, I mean, you gotta find out if they're biased, right?
Mhm.
But when you become one yourself, it's actually a difficult place, because as a reviewer, you gotta find the bad stuff in a good VN.
Yeah.
And you gotta find the good stuff in a bad VN. You have to approach from both angles. And on the cherry on top would be that you have to add your own opinions about it. So you have to be both objective and subjective. I mean, I'll admit some of my videos regarding the VNture one, I think I might be a little bit too biased. So too biased, giving it a high score. If I recall correctly, I gave VNture 1 8.5 and VNture 2 the sequel an 8. Maybe because it's me that that really wants people to play this game, because to me it's a great game. I mean, as we explored in the last episode, right? But yeah, you gotta find faults in it.
Yeah.
You gotta find some problems. It's like right now when I read visual novels. Currently, I'm reading Movlove Alternative Total Eclipse.
Mhm.
I loved the anime. I watched the anime because the anime came out before the visual novel. So I loved the anime. I watched it, and then when I read the visual novel, there are some problems. I love the story, but there are some problems. So it actually pains me to how do you say it? To call out
Admit.
those admit those problems, but you just gotta do it, right? as a reviewer, I don't know. Maybe for the next time the developer wants to make another story, maybe they would listen. I don't know, considering how small I am, but I don't know. Maybe maybe they would listen. Okay, that's just from my point of view.
I mean, I am thorough Movlove fan. I have not yet went ahead to reading Total Eclipse, and I especially avoided the anime because I wanted to read it from the source first. The same goes with I'm going to so butcher that name, Schwarzenmarksen.
Schwarzenmarken, yeah.
Yes,
German.
that one. Yeah. So I still wait. I want to read it in original before I watch any adaptations in anime form. But I have to say, I read Photon Melodies and Photon Flowers. It is as fanfic as they can get sometimes, which can sour expectation in eyes of a fan of the alternative, especially.
Yeah, one might say that the side stories might not be as good as the trilogy, but yeah, I digress.
This is weird because I love the side stories even, but I don't know. There is some sort of personal roadblock. I just couldn't review Move at all because maybe I feel my bias is just too hard.
Yeah, but gotta remember, as a reviewer, I think from my perspective, you review something so the next product would get better. That's how I see it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's just how I see it, like from tech YouTubers. It's a lot in YouTube, like Marcus Brownlee, or what's the guy's name? Canadian. Oh my god. Linus. Yeah, Linus.
Oh.
They review stuff so that the next product becomes better. So
because more than anything, you want to be honest, right? You don't want to lie about a work and say that it was good when there was some parts that really dragged on the story, because you also want to be informative to other potential readers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something really.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be honest. I mean, just be honest. One of the reasons why I edit those degenerate parts in my reviews because I'm a degenerate guy. I love H scenes, so I gotta talk about them.
Yeah. By the way, I was wondering, how do you decide what titles you review? Because you mentioned, you're talking about reading Love Total Eclipse and stuff, and you're bouncing from one title to another. But do you just create a review after everything you read?
Yes, that's exactly it. I read something. I make a video on it. Right away. That's how I plan to approach from now on. And there will be some visual novels that require rereading. For example, the Move Love trilogy. I have read that several years ago. I've forgotten about it. So in order to make videos on it, which I have received several requests. So I have to, reread the thing, but it's long,
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the reviews you provide on your channel just follow whatever VNs are catching your interest at a time?
Exactly, yeah, and the playlist is growing day by day.
Oh man, we know all about that.
The torture, yeah, I understand completely.
Never-ending backlog.
It never ends.
Never ends?
I wanted to ask you some more of technical details about how you create the videos themselves. What programs do you use to create the videos?
Okay, so if you notice, my videos most of the time as Ange would shout me out. Thank you, Ange. Super Ange 128. Yeah, he shout me out that I like to put my face on my videos. So I have I have my webcam and I use OBS to record, and I use a condenser mic from Mayono. It's an improvement. So the mic I'm using right now is a condenser mic. And after that, I record in clips. So because I write a script when I finish a visual novel, I write a script after finishing it, and it'll take me a while because I need to gather my thoughts to write the script, because there'll be like several chapters in a video, exploring from different aspects. Like for example, if there's a gameplay, I will talk about the gameplay. If there's a tip, then I'll give some tips, or just like a best go discussion I think that is necessary, then yeah, I would include it as well. So we have to devote some time to that.
Sorry, when you mentioned that it takes a while to write your script, like about how long? Like a couple hours, or maybe up to a week, or
several days actually.
Yeah.
It takes it's rough, several days, because you gotta, as I say, it goes back. You gotta be objective. You gotta be honest. So you just it's basically like what your experience. So I try my best to bring in what I experienced onto the script. I try to screenshot every detail, every problem that I have, so I can refer back to it. Right now I'm trying, because maybe not in my previous video, but right now I have screenshot a lot of scenes in Move Love alternative total clips for my next video. So yeah, it takes a while. Yeah, it takes several days to write the script. But if the shorter ones, then I might take like 1 day. For example, like the gap between my planetarian and planetarian and the fault video. Yeah, it was like around 5 days. Yeah, it was like very short scripting, that one.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, because that was a short VN. Very, very enjoyable.
I have a question about you recording in clips. Because you mentioned you record short clips, and then I think you splice them up together to make a review. Does that method helps you create segmented review? And what I mean by that is you tend to segment them in order of character, technical, gameplay if it exists, but for those I watched, you do talk about VNs with gameplay. Also with a bonus chapter for tips that you recently added in Eve 2. And then you go over VNs and story parts for those who separated from gameplay elements. And after that, you have the fun bits. Does
The fun bit.
Does the recording in clips help you achieve that segmentation?
Yeah, it definitely helps. Because I can't memorize stuff, and especially if I show my face, I gotta look into the camera. So it's difficult for me to memorize stuff. So I have to record in clips. And when I wrote the script, by then I have separated into chapters. For example, I put one paragraph for introduction, I put one paragraph for characters, I put one paragraph for the story. Yeah, so it's all good. So I will record from top to bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
It would normally take 1 day, sometimes 2 if I did make mistakes. Yeah. So and if I because these clips help me, like, okay, if I review back my video and say, this is maybe not necessary, this is maybe too cringy. So yeah, I just cut them out easier rather than cutting the whole thing. So yeah. And some points where the clips would help, if, like, for example, if my voiceover parts, yeah, those ones I just read from the script, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, one other question when it comes to that segmentation and clipping, I want to bring up the atmosphere. I think maybe this is more in the earlier reviews than letters, but I felt like you have reviews with a very memeable atmosphere. So you intertwine some memes, some jokes, some popular culture references, and that's fine enough.
Okay.
But it kind of borrows structure from Monogatari anime. What I mean by that is Monogatari anime oftentimes work in such a way that there is black screen, no animation, but commentary. And your structure is very, very similar to that. You have a clip, you cut out to the black screen, you put some meme faces and some joke. That's the structure I encountered in some of the videos you made, which is interesting approach. I mean, I guess it's a better one to have for people who are not known to titles. Just, poke fun, make jokes about it. But what really impressed me is when you incorporated gags of the title itself into the review. Example being, you did Evenical 2 using gag of Whisper Intern a lot. And that was something that, for me, who appreciates the game and review that you made of it, made it so much more connection with me, because I know what's the in-joke here. You are basically laughing in the same way that MC is trying to hide his status of being an intern doctor.
Yeah. Well, nice eye that you could relate to Monogatari, but I'll be honest, that was purely a coincidence. purely a coincidence. I did not really know that it was a Monogatari thing. I have watched Monogatari. I have. Sundere-chan is one of my favorite waifus. But it didn't occur to me that the style would become similar to the Monogatari series. I mean, well, I looking back now, I think it does. I think it does, yeah. So, great eye on that.
Okay. It was a happy coincidence, let's call it like that.
Purely a coincidence.
Speaking of those gags and stuff, one of the most recent video you did was meme compilation of various VNs. And you're pretty much a review channel, but now you're starting to branch out. What are your thoughts about, going more into the memes and funny side of things?
Well, I did mention, like, even when I first started making videos, that I would say that this channel, I think it's my channel description, like, this channel's mainly doing VN reviews through generic content. I will approach a bigger niche, I think, if I grow. I mentioned that. So I was trying to, like, maybe, okay, I start out with reviews, then maybe I will try to grow up, make some other content regarding, I will still stick to reviews, but I try to, make a variety, like try to make something else other than reviews to, up my video count, and it does well. Try and error. And as far as I get the inspiration from Ange again. Thank you. That he said that, okay, he wants to see more content VNtubers make more meme videos. And I also got the inspiration from the August Hale, who made his video about the music in visual novels be like. I think that was title, and it was a really great video. It was a really great video. I loved it. I laughed the shit out of it, and I thought that maybe I wanted to add my own touch. So yeah.
And yeah, shout out to Super Ange. He is an awesome content creator. He's a big inspiration to us too.
Yep.
Yeah, he's really one that grows the community. So.
I have a question when it comes to reviewing. How your process or maybe thoughts, approach changes when you are reviewing a sequel? Because I don't think you have that many of those, but on an example of Evenicle, at the very least, you do compare the two. How does that change the formula? Do you often bring the scenes from the previous game? Do you keep it around to make a point? Do you intersplice that? For example, you showcase the difference in UI for the town system in that specific Evenicle 2 video. Was it something you planned on having, or did you revisit the game to check it out, how it was before?
Because of the Evenicle 2 being a sequel, so of course I gotta do like some comparisons to the prequel in order to see that okay, what makes it better, what makes it worse. So that's the whole thing about a sequel, isn't it? At least from my point of view, because okay, they released a new game, the same franchise, a new game. Okay, what's better? What's worse? So you gotta compare it to previous games. So that's how I see it. But you also gotta appreciate from the game itself as like as itself. What did they bring new? Did they bring did those new things that they bring were good? Were they good? Or were they bad? So eventually I will have to compare it back to the prequel, because the prequel is the one that made me love the franchise in the first place. True. You gotta start somewhere, right? Yeah. That's how.
If the sequel were to tarnish that, you would be very angry. So from what I guessed from your response is, not only do you gauge the sequel as its own product, but also a continuation and how it all fits together. And just a special mention, I cannot stress enough how much I relate to your conclusion. The cameos were amazing. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's the thing. The prequel is the thing that makes you love the franchise. So you gotta compare it again. It's like if I were to bring an example, it's like the Halo series, the game. The Halo series, yeah. The Halo game franchise is amazing. Maybe 4 is okay. I love 4, and 5 is less. 5 is less, and Infinite, I love playing Halo Infinite. But then there's a Halo TV show, and when you watch Halo TV show, you would wonder, is this even Halo? I mean, you can say that the Halo TV show itself is some sort of a sequel because it's like a product that is based on the franchise. So when you watch it, I was like, this doesn't sound like Halo. And I read one comment that mentioned that, if this series doesn't have the name Halo in it, I would be fine watching it. Like that. Because the franchise would be like this, you expect it to be like this, but it's completely opposite. I mean, I'm fine if the developers wanted to change a bit, try and error, yeah? That's the whole point of trying to make something new, because otherwise it will be boring if it's the same repetitive thing.
Fair.
But if you completely change what the game stands for, then yeah, that's the issue there. That's just an example that I would give.
I have one more question for you, ASid. I know you call yourself a degenerate reviewer, and you post your videos to YouTube, and they all have questionable content. Have you ever gotten in trouble with YouTube's automated reporting system for anything that didn't fit with their guidelines a little too much?
It was just once. Because I know the guideline kind of system based on my second account, the account that makes the waifu videos, because I made videos on DxD, and oh god, DxD has a lot of scenes. So yeah, so I've learned based on experience. So when I upload stuff on YouTube, in my third account, this ASid account for the visual novels, I sort of know what's the barrier. Yeah. So what's the the border. So and I only received like one complaint, not an email, mainly like when you upload something, your video will get checked, and then there's only one video, which is the collab with the other VNtubers about their favorite age scenes. That was it. And the other stuff, it was all good. Yeah.
Because fighting that YouTube automated report system is a pain in the butt, right?
I can completely agree. Yeah.
It's one of those things where you are so much better off just never tripping the system in the first place than it is going a little too far and then getting nailed for it, and now you gotta fight tooth and nail for your account.
That is one of the reasons why I do not want to use those questionable CGs in my videos. So that's why that's one of the reasons why my videos mainly shows my face. So yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a clever idea. Yeah.
By the way, about you deciding to show your face as part of it, there's plenty of reviewers online and YouTube who will show their face and speak to the camera, and then there are plenty that will just do a voiceover, and they'll have plenty of illustrations and visual guides as part of the video instead. Did you ever think about the difference, and did you consciously choose one or the other, or were you just early in your YouTube recording career and that's what you did and that's what you're going to continue doing? How did your decision about that come around?
I'll be honest, the first part, when I wanted to do the videos, the decision to show my face is that because when I watch several VN reviews on YouTube, they all of the ones that I've watched have voiceovers. So I figured that maybe I should do something different, as also aligns with why I do the fun parts in my videos, because I want to do something different, approach from something else, from a different angle. But truth be told, it's just that when I record my face, I don't have to do it twice when I edit. I'm just lazy. So because if you do voiceovers, you have to align the CG, the scene with your voiceover. So that is a major pain in the ass. I would know because I have done some with my gameplay in Ivnickel, and maybe in the technical stuff in my videos. I know because it's a pain in the ass to align those scenes with my voiceover. But when I just do my videos, when I record myself, then it's done like that. I can just put it into the video editor and just edit the sound, clip it, and yeah, that's one clip already. That's good.
Now that you mention it, right, in those Evanical reviews, there's plenty of clips that take use of your voice pointing out to something on a screen, saying, "This is the enemy, this is your party, skills, those are the buttons, and auto battle is here." So I guess aligning all of that voice with video is a major pain.
Yeah, it's a pain. Yes, major pain. Yes. I salute those guys, especially Bruce Gone Loose, one of my fellow VNtubers. Yeah. So yeah, I also look up to him. His editing is really good. But I know that him editing those 10-minute videos is a major pain in the butt. A very big effort. So yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Speaking of titles review, this is something that came to my mind when Taurus said, "What's your process in which you take titles? Do you ever take requests or recommendations?"
Yeah, I do. It affects my playlist as well. For example, the Byakuvic Further Than Blue Sky. It was a request. It was a suggestion from one of the lads in the Movloof Discord server. I mean, I asked like, okay, what's a nice VN, and then I just for fun, and then everyone's like reading the same visual novel, which is Byaku, and I'm like, okay, why not? So I just read it. Yeah. So that was so I do take requests and suggestions from which VN to review, but you have to read one VN and then the next and then the next. I mean, it's still it's up to me to decide which one to read. So.
Okay, fair enough. Now, on a bit of a twist, reversing this question, do you often get approached, given that you have some credibility reviewing VNs, to give recommendations?
I wouldn't say. I mean, I haven't involved myself in trying to go out of my way to recommend something to someone. I mean, okay. I mean, let's say that if the question would be that, okay, is this VN good? Then I would chime in. But if someone just randomly asks a general question, okay, which VN should I read next? I won't answer that because I don't think I'm that level yet. So yeah, I try to limit myself. But if let's say for example, one guy asked me, okay, is this visual novel good? What do you think about this visual novel? Then I will give my own honest opinions about it. That's it.
Okay, and I guess I have one more question, probably last from me that I have in my head. Do you ever consider going outside of the game to review it? For example, do you look at extraneous circumstances surrounding the game, or do you mostly focus on a product in front of you?
You mean outside stuff like
licensing problems,
companies
publishing
like companies going bankrupt, or there being a lot of drama behind a release and a difficult production history or something. Do you ever think about those factors?
No, because I think that it would compromise my judgment on the product. So I would just focus on the product itself. I mean, I knew that let's say Byaku, going back to Byaku, I knew that the company was bankrupt. A friend, like an acquaintance in Discord, told me that that the company went bankrupt. I knew it, but I didn't mention it. I just reviewed the product on what it is. So that's it. I don't want to bring in any drama behind any stuff behind the product. So yeah.
Fair enough.
That's a very
admirable.
Yeah, a very upstanding attitude to have.
Yep. And I guess on that note, we are running out of time. So thank you very much, ASid, for another episode that you guest with us. I cannot stress enough how, from the bottom of my heart, I am grateful that you accepted our invitation to the podcast and shared with us your knowledge about content creation in a VNtuber sphere. Thanks you once more.
Well, yeah, glad to be part of this.
And everyone listening, be sure to check out ASid's YouTube channel. We'll be posting the link and showing it on the screen too. But yeah, he is ASid Kun over at YouTube. Check him out.
And for all our other listeners, thank you for listening, and bye.
Bye.